Hi, good morning. If you are on here with me this morning, I am so excited to have you join me on my very first Facebook Live. Ah! But I'm very excited. If you are on here, please do say hi, and I would love to say hi back. So, it is a very unique time that we are going through right now, and I just want to let you know that we are in this together, right? And it's stronger when we are in this together because no one has to do this alone. And I just want to introduce myself. First of all, my name is Elaine Comeau, Elaine Tan Comeau, and I am a wife, a mom of three, educator, and thank you for the love. I see some hearts. I am also a speaker and educator. I am also the creator of a children's product called Easy Daisies, which happened by accident when I was a school teacher. I want to say that I love working with kids, and I miss teaching, and I loved it with all my heart when I was a school teacher, a classroom teacher, and I would fall in love with my kids every year. So much so that my grade 2 class actually sang at our wedding many moons ago. And now they're all old and find me on Twitter. Yep. But when I was a school teacher, I had so many parents ask me to help their kids at home become more cooperative and independent and create a visual schedule, something similar to that I had in the front of my classroom to show the shape of the day, because that was the only way that I could move 20 to 6-year-olds from my classroom to the library to the gym without a meltdown or a tantrum. And so, because I love my students and they are my own kids, I of course said, of course I would. I would draw these simple illustrations so that children who were non-readers, whether they were 2 or 12, could still feel confident with their day. And I was making these visual schedules for free for many years, and I thought maybe there's a product here. And so that was how Easy Daisies was born. And Easy Daisies was named that because it was created to help children have easier days. And I, of course, happen to have one right beside me. And it's just really simple. And it was just created to help kids have less anxiety. When 1 in 4 came into my classroom with anxiety issues, 1 in 6 with learning disabilities, 1 in 2 from broken families, 1 in 48 on the autism spectrum, and the list goes on. And I knew so much was working against my kids that I wanted to create a tool that helped children have easier days. And of course, that meant mom and dad too. And this is how simple it works, is that there's a to-do side and a done side. And that kinesthetic move from moving it from to-do to done is like getting a pat on the back, how we feel when we cross off a to-do list as an adult. And it's just teaching children a life skill, that there are things to do in a day and getting it done is the reward. And every part of this was thought out, like in so much research. From the blue, that's this color, is the most soothing for children with anxiety, to the length of the board, so that you're only showing a maximum of 5 to 7 tasks, so you're not overwhelming a child. So that is one of the starts of Easy Daisies. But I would love to know more about you. And please do tell me how many kids you have at home. I'm just saying hi to all of you who are just joining us right now. It is a crazy time. I do not claim to be an expert at homeschooling, but I can claim that I love kids, and I love my kids, and I love your kids, and I just want to help all of us as best as I can with some tips and strategies and a lot of free resources. Because you know what? We should not be doing this alone. We are stronger together, and we can learn from each other. And the things that I'm sharing are just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many wonderful and great resources out there. Again, if you're wondering who I am, you can find me. Oh, here we go. I'm Easy Daisies and Elaine Tan Comeau. And you can find me on all the platforms from Instagram to Facebook to Twitter. And I'm just so excited, like you're here at my house. So I hope that you have your cup of tea or coffee and you can sit and join me, because I am going to share 2 quick strategies, one in the beginning and one at the end, and a bunch of free resources in the middle, and a video, a really short, like a minute video that I think we can all relate to and hope not to relate to also at the same time. If you don't have a cup, I brought you one, because if you were at my house, I would also make you a cup of tea or coffee. So this one's yours. And this one's mine. Excuse me. Yep, we all need caffeine right now. So I want to start by saying you're not in this by yourself, right? We are so blessed. We are so very blessed to have platforms like Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp, and many other platforms where we can connect with people. And if you are a parent with kids at home right now, you definitely want to connect with people. And it was very cute. I was on a conference call yesterday, and this amazing woman that I was speaking with, she shared with me that her daughter, she has 3 kids, and then her daughter has 2 kids, and her daughter was attempting homeschooling for the first time. And she said, "Mom, this is my first 4 days, and day 1, it was fun. It was so much fun. And day 2, it was okay. It was fine. Day 3, her oldest was in detention, and her second child was expelled. And by day 4, she was fired for drinking on the job." Yep. Reality. I love the raw honesty of people. And so no one needs to be perfect at doing this, right? If your children aren't bleeding and they are breathing, celebrate. Do I have a celebration? I'm going to give you a celebration right now. Right? Breathing and fed. That's a goal. That's a very good goal. But I want to share something with you first. And we are all here together right now because we want to help our kids thrive and succeed. My kids are still on spring break here, so they're actually all upstairs, I think sleeping or reading in bed. And it is 10 a.m. here, and I think 1-ish over out east. But that first strategy I want to share with you is from an acronym of GROW. We want to grow from this. I believe that we can learn from everything. From bad situations, from good situations, we can learn. And my acronym of GROW, that first letter is G. And that is, we want to teach our kids gratitude. Gratitude. And this acronym of GROW, GROW, is something I want to help you remember that you could share with your kids in this situation that we are going through right now, that will be in the history books, that they will share with their kids. And they will remember that you taught them how to grow through this. And that G does represent gratitude. And one quick and wonderful thing you could do with your kids is to, if you already have one, that's fabulous. If you haven't started, is to start a gratitude journal. And have them wake up and start writing in it. If they are little, they could draw a picture of something they are grateful for, whether it's grandma or that ice cream sundae they had last night or their family. But always to wake up with gratitude, to find something to be grateful for, because you know what? We are so very, very blessed. And I think that through situations like this, we need to remember what we have rather than what we don't have. And so that is, G is gratitude. So I am just going to put gratitude to the side. And I am going to share R. We want to teach our kids to reach out to others. Because you know what? It is about a community. And it means that when we are growing, in learning how to grow, it means that we are learning how to connect with other people. We are learning how to reach out to other people and see how we can help. And this is an excellent time for having our kids take advantage of learning how to write an email. Let's do that or write a letter and connect, or do FaceTime, or WhatsApp. There's so many ways to connect and reach out. Have your child write to a cousin, an aunt, an uncle to say, hey, how are you doing? What are you doing today? These are 3 things I did this week, or I am trying to make a new recipe. Do you have a favorite recipe you want to share with me that I could make for my parents? So having them reach out. Perhaps you want to bake cookies and leave them at the doorstep of someone who's living alone. There's so many ways to reach out, and you don't need to actually connect and see that person. You can text them and let them know that you're leaving something at their door. There's so many ways to reach out. And if you don't want to do that, go back to writing that email, or having your child text, or connect with somebody. So to reach out to others and see how they could put a smile on someone else's face. O for grow is optimism. And what optimism is it's teaching our children that there is hope and confidence in the future, and that there's always a bright side, right? So they need to know that it's all going to be great. Our kids feed off our energy. If you are anxious, they will be anxious. If you are calm, they will be calm. If you are optimistic, they will be optimistic. So you know what? There's always a bright side in anything. So help them to understand that. And that is so key in the word grow. And W, work hard. What I mean by this is things don't just come naturally or easily, but we have to work hard. And even if it means not being in the classroom, it means that we still want to be our best, to do our best. And my 11-year-old daughter says, Mom, no, not try your best, but do your best. She's right. Exactly that. Do our best. And that means working hard. And that means that when they don't want to write in their gratitude journal, or they don't want to do that math game or Sudoku puzzle, you're going to remind them that part of being our best is to work hard and to do just one little math problem a day, or to write one little paragraph in their gratitude journal, because everything that we do will help us as a building block to what we're going to be like tomorrow. So that is a good reminder. I am just going to show this to you right now. This is where you're going to find all these amazing free resources that my husband and I spent several days searching out and finding for you. And I'm going to actually show you this right now. And again, I am not a homeschool expert. I am just trying to give us all some strategies to be successful and help our children thrive during this time. And I love all the things that I see on social media. I saw that my children's kindergarten teacher shared that, hey, if people give you a hard time for putting your kids in front of the screen too much, watching too many movies, just turn off the volume and put on the text below, and now they are reading. I love that. What a great strategy. And it's so funny. I was joking around with my kids. My youngest is in French immersion. My second child wants to study Mandarin, and my oldest is studying Spanish. So I thought, we're going to watch movies that we know and watch them in one of those languages. And we're just going to do that. And the reason I say watch a movie that you know is because then they know the context. They might not know the language, but they already have the meaning behind the language that is meant behind the foreign language. So there's so many ways to learn. And I am just going, how many of you have seen, there's this video that has gone viral, and it's about this mom of 4 in Israel, and she does this selfie rant, and it's become viral. And it's about being, well, being in distance learning, and they're on day 2. And it's only about a minute long, and I'm actually going to show it to you right now because I'm going to give you the heads up that you have to read really fast, but it's absolutely worth it, and I'll just give you a quick recap right after. So I'm just going to learn how to do this and go to this video. And so it is translated, and you have to read very quickly what she is saying and ranting about. It is worth it. It made me laugh so much. Here we go.
תקשיבו, זה לא עסק, הלידה מרחוק הזה. באמת, זה פשוט לא, זה בלתי אפשרי. זה לא נורמלי. מהבוקר, אנחנו רק ביום השני, מיליוני הודעות בוואטסאפ, יש לי 4 ילדים שיהיו בריאים, תדמיינו כמה וואטסאפים, כמה מורות לכל ילד, כמה מקצועות לכל ילד, יש לי רק 2 מחשבים בבית, הם רבים מהבוקר על המחשבים, אחד המורים של הבת שלי חי בסרט שהיא ב8 בבוקר תשב לראות אותו על המסך, היא ב8 בבוקר רק הופכת צד במיטה. מה נראה לכם? המורה למוזיקה של הבן הקטן שלי, היא שלחה תווים הבוקר. מה אני אעשה עם המידע הזה? מה, יש לי הרכב של איזו להקה? אני לא יודעת לקרוא תווים. שנייה, אני מוציאה קלרינט ויושבת עם הבן שלי לעזור לו עם התווים. די, חבר'ה, מורים, תנמיכו ציפיות, זה לא הגיוני. וכל היום, איך הילד מרגיש? איך שיצייר ציור? איך הילד מרגיש? הוא כל היום בפלאפון, טוב לו. ישנים טוב, אוכלים, לא מפסיקים לאכול. איך הוא מרגיש? שאלו אותי איך אני מרגישה. קורסת. אני עוברת מילד לילד. הנה מדעים, הנה מתמטיקה. הנה, חלס, גם איפה אני יודעת את כל הדברים האלה? עכשיו הילדים שלנו יעלו עלינו כמה אנחנו סתומים. זה לא לעניין, באמת. אני יודעת להפוך שבר מדומה. גם אם הוא מדומה, אני רוצה להבין משהו. למה צריך להתעסק איתו? הוא לא אמיתי, עזבו אותו בשקט. מה אני אומרת פה? גמרתם עלינו, זה רק היום השני. אם לא נמות מהקורונה, נמות מלמידה מרחוק. זהו, פרקתי. בבקשה, להוריד קצב, תניחו להם. שיהיה יום מהמם.
Okay, if you didn't get the gist of that, this awesome mom of 4, and her children are 8, 10, I want to say 14 and 15 years old, and she is going on about how it's only day 2, and she's woken up to millions of WhatsApp messages and teachers sending music scores, and she's like, what, am I supposed to have a band in my house? And I don't know how to read music, and she's going on about, okay, well, I'll take out my clarinet and teach my son how to play this score, and she's like, I don't know what to do, and she's a little bit stressed because she has 4 children, which means many messages are coming in, and she's running between 4 kids, they're fighting over 2 computers, and she is saying, I don't know how to convert an irregular fraction, and it's absolutely useless. Why would I teach my son this? And you know what? She's absolutely right in the sense of she's saying, we aren't expected to know how to do everything and how to teach everything. Like my grade 11 daughter is doing pre-calculus. There is a reason I don't do anything near calculus, because I remember the ulcer that I almost got in university from taking calculus. And God bless those who are really smart at math. And there's a reason I taught grade 2 for a long period of time. But I just wanted to share that video because we are not alone in this. And that is why my husband and I spent some time to create some resources and to find a bunch of free resources. And it's all for you. So much so I even created some lesson plans. Being an educator for 14 years, I did go through the learning outcomes that are required, and I actually went through specific grades. So I didn't do all the grades, but I did grade 1, grade 3, grade 5, grade 6, grade 8, and grade 11. Yes, there are reasons I chose those grades because I do have an 11-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 16-year-old. And so there are lessons that I created that are so easy and simple, and you can do a writing activity in 5 minutes. That's going to help your children with learning expectations like using sources of information and prior knowledge to make meaning, recognize the importance of story and personal, family, and community identity. So these are learning outcomes from our from our government across the spectrum of those grades. Recognize the structure and elements of story, synthesize ideas from a variety of sources to build understanding, transform ideas and information to create original text using various genres, forms, structures, and styles. You don't need to know those things, and that's okay. I don't expect you to know those things either, but I just wanted you to know that I actually looked at those to create some lesson plans for you to share with your kids, whether they are 3 years old or 18 years old. These are things you can do, and I'm going to share those with you in a moment. But right now, I'd like to actually go to that website to show you some cool stuff. So let me just take you there. You can just keep watching this screen because I am going to show you the website that I showed you earlier, which is this. So that is Easy Daisies, and then / homeschool. Okay, which I'll show you again later. So if you go on there later, you will come to this page and it will show you these cool resources that are free for you to share with your kids. And I'm just going to highlight some of them. And here's one. This one is Canadian, and it's curio.ca. Now, many of these sites are usually paid subscriptions, but right now they are free, and please do take advantage. For example, the Curio is an excellent site that you would like to check out with your kids, and you can pre-screen it. But what it is real live videos, and they are so inspiring because many of them are about real life kids. For example, there's a 13-year-old boy in Regina who created a short film about how to overcome depression. And then it's I think a 3-minute film, and then there's also a teacher guide, so you can go through that and discuss it with your child. Not all work requires writing and reading, because you can listen and learn. You can listen to a story, and there's so much that happens when you just close your eyes and listen to a story, because now you visualize what that character may look like, what the setting may look like. But back to curio.ca, there's lots of inspiring things to see. Like, I think there was one that I watched that is about young inventors, and I would encourage. I'm going to watch it with my kids. It's only a minute long, and it's a bunch of kids who were challenged to build something unique and useful for outer space, and an astronaut actually announces the top 2 winners, and they actually get made. It's really cool. And there are math lessons, and what I love is you can choose the age group that you want, and then you can find a lesson, and it comes with a teaching plan. Here's another fabulous resource. What I love about this is it's a local family run business, and I love supporting local. And right now they have a free side of this on their website, but they also have a subscription that you pay for. But this month it is free, and we actually use this also. We've been a subscriber for several months now, and just learning math skills and math drills, because you know how much I love calculus. And so I'm just going to keep going here. So that's Classroom Ready and Dynamic Math. Varsity Tutors. This is an American site with fabulous resources and real live classrooms that your children can join into. And they send you a toolkit when you sign in and sign up, and that gives you assessments. Now, this is American, so it will actually give you tests and classroom, real life classroom situations that you can join virtually. And actually, I also have tutors and instructors that can help. And this is very cool. So there's many more resources. And here is one that my husband and I created for you. And it's 42 pages of awesomeness. And it's very quick and easy for you to browse through. A bunch of free resources and activities, including this one writing activity. I call it the 3-step story. And all it is getting some magazines together and having your kids cut out 3 pictures. So any age can do this. So whether your child is 3 years old or whether your child is 16 years old. Okay, so if you go on to easydaisies.com at homeschool, you will also find this. My husband's telling me to remind you where to do this. And so this is the book that you will get. All you have to do is click on it, my husband says. Yeah. So when you're on the website, click on it. So this is my 13-year-old son. So he found 3 pictures, and then you get them to glue them down. Now, I actually give you a template. You can use 3 random pieces of paper that are just blank, but I also provide a template for you where they can just glue down or tape on 3 different pictures. And this is my 11-year-old. She found 3 pictures. And my 16-year-old who found 3 pictures. And all they're doing is learning about the format of story, what a story is made out of, that there is a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's such a simple lesson, but it covers so many bullet points on the learning outcomes, on the curriculum for all the grades. And that's why you could do this with any age group, and it's so simple. Grab a magazine, have them find 3 pictures, have them glue them down, 1, 2, 3. And all you're going to tell them is to find a way to tie them together in a story, because a story usually has a subject or a character. That means someone or something that the story is about. And usually in this story, where there's a story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, is there's going to be a problem that needs to be solved, whether there's a dog that got lost or a misunderstanding. And that's, a misunderstanding. But I'm just going to quickly read this one because it's like just so easy and simple. And when there's no judgment, so when you let your children creatively write and freely write, you're not going to harp about spelling. You're not going to harp about grammar and tenses. You just want them to write because it's so exciting to see them share their ideas. And often kids are afraid to share their ideas because they feel that they're going to get in trouble or judged, or the idea is not even there because all the parent cares about or the teacher cares about is all the errors in spelling. No, we're not even going to care about those things. That is not the point of this activity. We want them to freely write. So this story, maybe I won't read it, but I'm just going to give you the gist of it. Actually, I'm going to get my husband who can read because his eyes are better than mine. Honey, this is my husband, Ron.
Hello.
Okay, this is our 11-year-old, and this is her story. If you want to show them the pictures so that they can,
okay.
And if you can read it.
Sorry, I'm not wearing pants, but I'm... All right. Once upon a time, there was a family. They had a son and a daughter. They were very poor. For a living, they sold lavender. I think that's the first picture. On to the second picture. One day, the children were walking home from school. As they were walking, the boy found a bag of seeds. They weren't just ordinary seeds. They were banana seeds. And now on to the third picture. The children decided to plant them in the garden. It grew big plants, and they sold the bananas. Now their family isn't poor, and they lived happily ever after.
So easy. My husband is wearing pants. I want to clarify. He's crazy. And he does have pants. But I just wanted to show you one more. Ron, come back. Okay, this is a 16-year-old doing the same activity. I just want to show you how versatile this simple lesson is. Okay, so he's going to read the 16-year-old story.
All right. I'm wearing shorts, by the way. Okay, picture number 1. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Charlie. She lived happily with her family until one day their village was attacked by a group of pirates. Charlie fled the village and hid in the bottom of the pirate ship. After what seemed like forever, Charlie realized that she must have fallen asleep because she found herself waking up in the ship that was now docked in a small and mysterious island. With no pirates in sight, she decided to go exploring to see if she could find anything or anyone to help her. On to the second picture. Charlie looked up and down and all through the forest until something sparkling in the sun caught her eye. She slowly made her way over to the shining object to find that it was a beautiful glowing flower, unlike anything she had ever seen before. She picked the flower, and it began to slightly tug around trees and through the forest. Charlie was nervous about where the flower was taking her, but she had no other options of what to do. on to the third picture. After following the flower for a while, the flower stopped moving and Charlie stopped her movements. The petals fell off and floated down onto a bush. She looked under the bush and found 3 big golden eggs. She picked one up, but it slipped out of her hands and it broke. All of a sudden, poof! Her family and village appeared, unharmed and safe again. She grabbed the other 2 eggs and treasured them in case any harm was to come to them again.
Awesome stories. Thank you. Good reading, Man in Shorts. Okay. I hope that you will be able to use that activity because it's so easy. And even if you do it once a week, you're causing creative juices to run through your kids, and it covers a lot of checks on their learning outcomes. And so that's just one of the things that are in this at-home resources for you. And so please do just click on it. It's yours for free. There's 42 pages in there, including this other ebook that I've created with easy, yummy, make-ahead recipes that your kids can make, and then you don't have to make them, because really, even when there isn't school, we probably might not still like packing lunches, right? And then there's also age-appropriate chore charts in there for you for free, and many other awesome resources. Now, if you want to talk to your kids about COVID-19 and are wondering how to do this, we narrowed it down to 3 pretty good resources that we found that will help you to know how to talk about it, because it is very important. Our kids, their lives have just been turned upside down, even if they haven't realized it, because they are social distancing. They are not seeing their friends. They are not in school. Sports has been postponed for now. Perhaps prom, right? And so there's lots of things that can cause our kids to have anxiety that they aren't expressing. And so let's definitely talk to our kids. And remember, they mirror our attitude and our calmness. They mirror our anxiety as well. So this one here is from the National Association of School Psychologists, and they have awesome, great points there of how to talk about COVID-19. Here's another site as well. And then this one is Pbs Kids, and they also have ways to talk to your kids who are younger about what is happening around us today. Here's Easy Daisies. And one thing that I see over and over that child psychologists are saying that is necessary at this time, and perhaps this is why I'm seeing that Easy Daisies is I guess being sold out in different places, is the need for visual schedules. It doesn't have to be Easy Daisies. You can make your own. And the reason why you want to have a visual schedule is your children, even if they're not telling you out loud, but they are craving routine and structure right now. It is hard for them to wake up and just have this innate nature of wanting to know what's happening today. What are we doing today? And I'm not saying live a structured life. I'm saying show some routine, show them consistency. So that means have a routine like you are going to school. That means showing them that you are waking up, having breakfast, brush your teeth, and read a book before you have screen time. Maybe no screen time until after lunch. Play a board game before lunch, and then I'll show you what we're doing in our house in a moment. But a visual routine helps alleviate anxiety, helps kids to cooperate better. It helps them to see expectations, and it gives them actually a sense of control and confidence in their day, which is very important during this time. Different places that you can get Easy Daisies. And on this same page, last week I was on CTV Morning Live, and I shared some road trip. I'm not saying go on a road trip, but I am saying you can make these quick and handy healthy snacks. So there's a video down here that shows you some healthy snacks from a sunshine smoothie that's so easy to make that your kids can make. That's like packed with vitamins and protein and potassium. And also I have recipes for Rice Krispie balls that are power balls, because we throw in hemp, hemp kernels? Hemp hearts, that's it. Hemp hearts in there that adds that added fiber and protein and omega-3s and omega-6s, and makes those Rice Krispie balls even more delicious, and some other recipes. So do check that out. And there's lots of other free resources that are here for you to check out so that you don't have to do the work. My husband and I wanted to help you and your family by throwing these resources together so you have them all in one place and it's easy to find. And here's another great one. It's the Oxford Owl, and I love this. It's so much fun, and it's for every age group. So you can choose the age group specific to your children, and there are lesson plans and videos and so much fun. And I am just going to show you my last strategy, and then I'll take you over to our fridge, which also has what my family daily plan looks like too. We haven't enforced it yet because it is spring break, but my children know it will happen, and it's a reality in our house that there is going to be some type of school happening at home. And, I did a talk for Global about learning loss over summer, and that's just 2 months of no school over the summer. And over summer, in those 2 months, we actually lose about 2 months, up to 2 months of literacy skills, and up to 2.6 months of math skills. And all it takes, the studies show, is 2 to 3 hours a day of practicing and reviewing skills so that we don't lose our learning. Because it does take teachers about 6 to 8 weeks to do all of that relearning in September and October. So it is March right now, so that could be a possible 6 months. So I hope that these free resources are helpful to you, and please do share them with anybody else you feel would like to have some free resources, and I would be so grateful. And I wish I could give you all a virtual hug, and I'm doing that right now because you've got this. We can do this together. So my last strategy and tip comes from the acronym CALM, different from a CALM that I shared on a business conference call that I had the honor of doing with mompreneurs. But this one is just for helping our kids. So CALM is C is create a schedule. So make your schedule, whatever you want it to look like. Keep it short, keep it simple, not too much, because you don't want to stress yourself out or overwhelm our kids. But you know what? It's great for them to wake up and have routine, and wake up and feel confident because they know what's expected of today. And I'm going to show you our schedule in a moment. A is to adjust and align learning to your kids' interests. So you know what? Find out what your kids are interested in, and then Google it. You can learn about dinosaurs together. You can learn about a future career they are interested in together, a future university they want to go to, learn about it together. Plan your next road trip. How exciting would that be to have something to look forward to? And discover the places you want to look up. And I'm a foodie. Our family is a foodie family, so I'd probably look at the Food Network and hit different places they would recommend. L for the word calm is for lighten the load of expectations, but don't lower them, right? So lighten your expectations on, just like that video I showed with that mom saying, "Are you kidding me? I'm not a science, math, language expert. How am I supposed to teach my child a music score? I don't have a band at my house." So lighten your own expectations and what we're putting on our kids as well. But do not lower any expectations ever, because your kids are so smart and they need to know how smart they are and how smart we know they are. And M is for make it fun and make it consistent. And so there are so many fun ways to learn, and I want you to always have fun and especially during this time, and going back to that GROW acronym, is to be optimistic and helping our kids to be optimistic. I'm going to take a walk to our fridge, and I hope this works because, as you know, this is my first time doing this. Excuse the mess in my home. And we are walking over to our kitchen. And you know what? I'm just going to change this back to the camera. Okay, yeah, these magnets are huge because they are classroom size. Wait, I can't do this. Okay, these are classroom magnets that are easy daisies. This is what we have going on. Of course, this is a good time to remind kids, right, about personal hygiene and being healthy, right? And you can never overwash your hands, right? I was a kindergarten teacher for a long time and a elementary primary school teacher, and I washed my hands a lot when I watched those kids. So we want to encourage our kids to wash their hands. And so, oh, look at this. Our schooling starts at 10:30. That is the blessing and awesomeness of doing school at home. You can call the shots of when it starts. The reason I have 10:30 is because I also work. I work from home now, and I work often on Eastern Standard Time, which means my day starts at 6 a.m. And so I need to work, and giving me a good 4 hours is great. And I've learned from being a school teacher is, look at the next one is silent reading. And I used to have a bell work or a morning challenge on my chalkboard when I was in a classroom because, as you know, kids take their time to get ready, right? So that means while you're getting ready, they need something to do as well. So silent reading is a great way to get them to congregate at your kitchen table and say, hey, you know what? After you wash your hands, come meet me at 10:30 and just bring a book so that they have something to do and not just sitting there waiting for you while you're prepping by grabbing those magazines that you're going to do a story with, whatever it is, so that they have something to do while they're waiting for you. Social studies. When I say social studies, I mean like, hey, let's read the local newspaper. And we know that newspapers are written at a grade 6 level. So you get your older kids to read it, or you can read it. And back to that magazine story one, where, of course, if your 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old is not able to write, you can have them verbally tell you this story. And then you could scribe it for them. And that is doing the same skills. So math could be going on one of those websites that we pointed out, or doing a Sudoku puzzle. Or for us, it could mean let's play a board game that uses math skills like King's Cribbage, or teaching your kids how to play crib, because now they have to learn how to add to 15 in multiple ways. And there's so many fun ways to do this. Playing outside as much as possible, and if you can, and stay away safely from others. And then lunch, and then screen time. And so that's what our day might look like this week. I am so grateful for you, and thank you so much for joining us and joining me on my very first Facebook Live. And I just want to say God bless you all, and I'm going to be keeping you all in my thoughts, in my prayers, and I'm just so grateful for you. And thank you very much for joining me today. And I have no idea how to sign off on this, so I'm going to have to ask my husband to come over. But I just want to say have an awesome, awesome day full of blessings, and be a blessing. And thank you. Bye for now. What am I doing?